Cancer, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below, and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. So here we are. Cancer, you are collecting information, okay? You are trying to put something together to help you get over this emotional upheaval inside. You're just like, I'm not saying you're trying to bury your emotions. That's not what you're hoping for. But what you're hoping for is to apply some emotional intelligence. I mean, you could be, watching like self-help videos or contemplating seeing a life coach or a career coach or something like that. You recognize this emotional upheaval is A, necessary, but B, difficult. And you're like, okay, what can I do to manage what can I do to manage all of what's stirring inside of me? Okay. Now what you fear, this is interesting. We have the magician. I hope you can see that. There's a little bit of a glare going on. Oh, there we go. So we have the magician and we have the, well, maybe if I put him here. There we go. The Nine of Pentacles in the upright. So for your fears, I kind of feel like you fear that you're tricking yourself in one way or another to stand on your own and be a little too independent. You know, you feel like if you don't start reaching out to somebody and getting the support that you need, that you'll think you can mutter through this by yourself, but you recognize that's like a self-sabotaging thing. If I didn't know any better between the hopes and the fears, I would say that you have a lot of emotions you want to deal with, and you don't want to reach out to your closest friends and family because they themselves might be involved. It's almost like the information that you seek might be that of a therapist, or like I said, like a life coach or a career coach, because you don't want any outside judgment of your social norms in this particular situation. You don't want the judgment of your peers in this particular situation. You want to seek an outside source because you feel it will be non-judgmental. The reality of the situation is you are up in your head quite a bit. You feel like you don't have the recipe for success in this particular situation, and you feel like you don't have control of yourself in this particular situation. You kind of feel like you are being. I'm surprised the chariot didn't show up in the inverse. Woo! Oh, what fell on the floor here? I usually don't read from the floor, but we have the Queen of Pentacles in the inverse and the King of Wands. I'm surprised the chariot didn't show up in the inverse because usually when the chariot shows up in the inverse, it talks about how if you don't control a situation has control of you. And that's the feeling I get from this, is you're trying to regain control of the situation, but you aren't focused on the usual people who would assist you with that. You want to go elsewhere. So with the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles in the inverse and the King of Wands in the upright, it's showing that you want to take a more leadership role in your life, but also that you want to be a role model for others in your situation. However, you might put this mask on and then try and keep that to be what everybody else sees at any old cost. Okay? In which case you would be tricking yourself into this independence that you fear. Does that make sense? I wonder if there's a better way to put it. You are so determined to fix your problem without your usual support group that you might trick yourself into not seeking the assistance at all. Yeah, so whenever I see aces, and that's what we have here, I have the Ace of Swords and the Six of Cups in the inverse. Whenever I see aces, I always remember that there is a high potential, or there's a high potential for something, but it's very low resolution. The idea, the spark, the beginning steps are there, but it hasn't been processed through a framework to actually become something yet. Okay? So when I see the Six of Cups in the inverse, that kind of makes me think that there are things stirred up from the past that might give you a little bit of fear and anxiety. Cancer, you want to do the right things for the right reasons here, but there are bad habits that might put you in a self sabotaging or self destructive mode and make you not want to actually reach out for that assistance at all. You know, you might trick yourself into thinking you can handle this all by yourself, but somewhere deep inside you know that you need support. It kind of feels like you know you need to ask for help, but your pride or ego won't let you. I'm sorry to hear that. It's a very difficult situation to be in. But it's a complicated one. It's not as cut and dry as what I just distilled it down to. So I hope the journey of getting to that distilled situation of if you need help, ask. I hope it was helpful for you to help process some of these thoughts and emotions that have been causing you some stress. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, Cancer. I hope you get help with this particular situation because you seem to know that you need it. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. I will see you next week.